Okay, so let's go to PowerPoint, and we're recording. Okay, so the mammary glands are therefore to produce milk is incredibly important. I have a granddaughter that's almost 5 months old, and her mom is nursing her. So nursing is incredibly important for the mom to to build a relationship with the baby and to produce milk. And the milk is full of antibodies because the infant doesn't produce its own antibodies until maybe now, or my granddaughter, 4 to 5 months old. So there's mammary glands. Their whole purpose is to produce milk, and they have other purposes. We'll leave that to your imagination and personal information. So the production of milk is very important for the newborn baby to receive nutrition and antibodies. Okay, so estradiol and progesterone are produced in the ovaries. Uh, the ovulation is triggered by LH surge, luteinizing hormone, and the hypothalamus is the location of gonadal releasing hormone, and that triggers the release of follicle stimulating hormone and LH. So here we have uh, a great summary of the growth of the egg in the ovaries, the releasing hormone levels. That's going to produce uh, surges in LH and FSH, and the ovary has been producing estrogen and progesterone that builds up the endometrium of the uh, uterus, and that's where the baby is going to implant. That's where the fertilized egg will implant or nest. And if everything goes well, fertilization of the baby is happening in the fallopian tube. If it gets to the uterus, you have nesting, as I said, and there we're going to have uh, the growth of the fertilized egg to the fetus, and then or the embryo to the fetus, uh, and then the delivery of a baby. The levels of FSH and LH during the menstrual cycle, when you have these surges in LH and FSH that leads to ovulation, the release of the egg. If sperm are present and the sperm and the egg meet, we can have fertilization. So we talked about the follicular phase. The ovarian follicles grow and produce an egg, and then they're converted into the corpus luteum to produce progesterone. So there's the follicular phase and the luteal phase. So estrogen and progesterone will be produced from the corpus luteum. This is a very direct and colorful presentation with the buildup of the endometrium to have a lot of blood vessels and to allow a place for the fertilized egg to implant. So the first part of the menstrual cycle is to release this buildup of the endometrium. If fertilization occurs, then it's going to stay around and grow. follicular phase, where you have production of the egg and then release of the egg, and if fertilization occurs, you'll have the corpus luteal phase. Okay, cyclic changes in FSH and LH maintain the ovarian cycle. They're produced in the anterior pituitary, and the estrogen and progesterone levels leads to secondary sex characteristics and primary sex characteristic in the female, and then the production of estrogen and progesterone is produced in the ovaries, and so you have estrogens and progesterone involved in secondary sex characteristics, and then stimulating the ovary to release estrogen and progesterone with levels of FSH and LH peaking to lead to ovulation. Okay, y'all know about that already. And that's it. So let's stop recording, stop